Hi everyone, Al the Psych here. Today I'm going to give a short video on rituals. I thought this would be kind of fun. Again, for informational purposes only. All right. So I went to the APA and I've taken their definition, so I'll read that to you. So uh, a ritual is a form of compulsion involving a rigid or stereotyped act that is carried out repeatedly and is based on idiosyncratic rules that do not have a rational basis. For example, having to perform a task in a certain way. Rituals may be performed to reduce distress and anxiety caused by an obsession. Okay, but in my mind, the definition runs a little short because it really has much wider parameters as far as I'm concerned. I'm more interested in other forms of rituals. Um, so there's religious rituals, I mean, marriage rituals, social bonding, rituals as a rite of passage. I'm sure we're all familiar with little sports rituals that athletes engage in, seasonal rituals, goes on and on. So I'm more interested in how rituals can be used as a way of improving mental and physical health and increase one's enjoyment in life. And so rituals, what they do seem to do is give one a sense of control, even if in reality it doesn't increase your level of control in what's going out there in the world. It might give you at least a sense that you have some control and some order. Just going through routines and rituals just tends to give you some sense of order and structure in your life, which can be anxiety reducing. Okay. Now, the definition talks about not having these rules that don't have a rational basis, but they may have some sort of physiological um, effect. So there's a real benefit right there. And again, I don't think we necessarily live in separate worlds in terms of physiology and cognition. I think they kind of blend a little bit. But if you're going through a ritual of, meditation or something on a daily basis, and you're physiologically feeling better, there's going to be some sort of impact in terms of cognitively how you think and how you view things. Um, so let's look at some of the rituals here. People get together on Sunday afternoon and watch football together. Kind of like a social bonding sort of activity. Or how about a tea ceremony where you go through all the steps before you actually drink the tea. My daughter just bought some sort of tea set where she grinds the tea, and I don't know what she does. There's a lot of steps to it before she actually drinks it. And this might make it taste a little bit better, I would think, having gone through all those steps. Um, what about the rituals of a funeral service? And all the steps that are involved. The planning, placing the notice in the obituary column, the eulogy, maybe a church service, the paying of respect by individuals, maybe an after-service meal. All these ritualistic activities seem to help the grieving individuals along the path of, getting over their bereavement and their mourning. Some individuals will set up an altar in the room, and this is kind of like almost like a reminder to address the issues that they're working on to improve their lives. So it might be a reminder to, okay, I'm going to meditate about this particular issue, or I'm going to be, excuse me, visualizing what I want to do in the future and how I'm going to deal with this particular situation, etc. Now, when I was working, what I would do a lot of times when I came home from work, I had the ritual where I would go outside on the patio. I'd have a beer or a glass of wine. I'd relax, but I would first kind of think about how the day went, what I got done, maybe what I have to do, in the next day coming up. And once I had done that, it was kind of like, okay, now I can just push that aside, not thinking about that anymore, and then I could relax the rest of the time, enjoy my drink, and often there was like a little hummingbird that would come by and visit me, and I'd watch him as I was just relaxing on the patio. And just that ritual of doing that, calming my mind, lowering my blood pressure, it all worked. So when the APA says, well, these rituals may not have a rational basis, well, again, they may have a physiological basis that does affect your cognitive functioning. Here's an interesting little note that I took from a book called Hardwiring Happiness by Hansen, published in 2013. So he says, your experiences don't just grow new synapses, but also reach down into your genes and change how they operate. For example, if you routinely practice relaxation, this will increase the activity of genes that calm down stress reactions, making you more resilient. So the idea here is just this repetition, going through this ritual, day in and day out, really can pay dividends, down the road. And I think in my mind, one of the important things is consistently doing the rituals, consistently getting into that routine, so you will see the results down the road. And I think I made a little note about Marcus Aurelius, and if I remember correctly, Marcus Aurelius would, in the morning, just kind of think about, okay, what am I going to do during the course of the day? Who am I going to be dealing with? What types of people will I deal with? And, some of the personalities and challenges with some of these people that I'm going to be working with. So he prepared himself to deal with someone who's maybe grumpy or antagonistic, or you get the idea. So he would set his day up routinely in the morning just to be prepared. He basically primed himself on how he was going to deal with these individuals. So he had that routine. He had a very structured life, and he had that routine of just preparing himself for the day. So, okay, I think that's it. You can see there's a lot of benefits to rituals. It's very broad. I'd be curious to hear about what your rituals are and how they help you as well. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.